अपना ब्रुकलिन कम्युनिटी सेंटर ने छोटे कारोबार वाले ख्वातीनो हजरात के लिए आसान शराइत पर कर्जे, सर्टिफिकेशन और रहनुमाई की सहूलियात बहम पहुंचाने के लिए न्यूयॉर्क सिटी स्मॉल बिजनेस सर्विसेज के ताउन से ब्राइटन बीच कम्युनिटी राउंड टेबल डिस्कशन का एहतमाम किया, जिसमें NYC स्मॉल बिजनेस सर्विसेज से डिप्टी कमिश्नर किटी चैन ने खुसूसी शिरकत की और हाजरीन से हाथ मिलाकर अपना तारफ कराया। अपना ब्रुकलिन कम्युनिटी सेंटर के चेयरमैन जनाब परवेज सिद्दीकी ने डिप्टी कमिश्नर किटी चैन से स्मॉल बिजनेस ओपन करने और उन्हें रन करने के लिए अपना ब्रुकलिन कम्युनिटी सेंटर के किरदार को वाज़ेह किया।
Pleasure to have you all over here gathered today. It is my unique pleasure to welcome Kitty Chan, a Deputy Commissioner of Small Business, and it is as we were chatting, and she said there's a lot more small business coming out with in terms of financing, planning, and other stuff. So we are going to re-invite her again, and I think after today's presentation, we will see an interest developed in a lot of small businesses over here, so we can help our community. The ones who want to go into business, the ones who are in business. Everybody needs financing, everybody needs help, and I think this is a tremendous opportunity for the city to have somebody as able as Kitty Chan to come here and talk to us about it and how we can help bring about help for our community. Having said that, I would like to welcome her.
So I'm going to do a little bit brief. Thank you again, everyone.
अपना की CEO इरम हनीफ ने अपना कम्युनिटी सेंटर के मिशन के मुताबिक ब्राइटन बीच कम्युनिटी राउंड टेबल की मजीद वजाहत की।
Here today taking out time. So as Mr. Siddiqui said that Deputy Commissioner Kitty Chan is here with us. So let me give you an overview why she is here at APNA. So you know APNA's mission is community engagement, education and development, and every day our team is working hard in terms of pursuing that mission, and we are building relationships and partnerships across the city with different city agencies and bringing all the needed resources and services back to our community because of the language, culture and so many other reasons. Our community, we come under the broader umbrella of AAPI, Asian American and Pacific Islander community, but as well as we represent South Asian community, Muslim community, and more specifically Pakistani Urdu speaking community. And recently in the city there is a lot of push about language access and making sure all the city agencies are providing every single support and service in top 10 languages, and Urdu is among those top 10 languages. So give a big shout out to our language, Urdu, because now finally after years of struggle and push, we are able to make that thing happen, and that's why APNA is glad to partner with SBS, Small Business Services of New York City, to make sure that our community members knows whatever services and support they can get from SBS, specifically for their businesses. Business of small minority women, you see there is a big crowd representing our women, those who are enthusiastic, those who wanted to establish their businesses, but we already have great role models like Shazia and many others in the community, those who are already leading the businesses, but we need more awareness and we need more support from our city agencies and our elected officials as well. I wanna do something in Urdu because I know I have couple of seniors here. अपना के प्लेटफॉर्म से हमने SBS Small Business Services का इदारा है जिसके साथ हमने कोलैबोरेशन किया है ताकि हमारी कम्युनिटी के लोग जो कि अपने कारोबार या तो अभी चला रहे हैं या अपना कारोबार किसी किस्म का शुरू करना चाहते हैं लेकिन उनको पता नहीं है कि कहाँ से शुरू करें, कैसे शुरू करें और किस किस्म की सपोर्ट और सर्विसेज हमारी कम्युनिटी के लिए मौजूद है। तो हमने इनके साथ पार्टनरशिप की है इसीलिए ताकि हमारी कम्युनिटी के लोगों को ये सारा कुछ जो है पता चले और हम अपना एक उसमें किरदार अदा करें हमारी कम्युनिटी के लोगों को इन सिटी एजेंसीज और इन इदारों के साथ जोड़ने में और वो सहूलियात और वो सपोर्ट उनको मिल सके जिसके वो हकदार हैं एज ए न्यूयॉर्कर, जिसकी वजह से हमने SBS के साथ पार्टनरशिप की है ताकि हम आप लोगों को मजीद खिदमात के बारे में भी बताएं और आपको बताएं कि अगर आप अपना बिजनेस शुरू करना चाहते हैं या अपना करंट बिजनेस को मजीद बढ़ाना चाहते हैं तो आपके पास किस किस्म की सर्विसेज और सपोर्ट मौजूद है। And having said that, now I would like to invite Deputy Commissioner Kitty Chan to please come on the podium and then share some information and resources.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure to be here. I have to ask a question. Before today, how many of you have ever heard of Department of Small Business Services? That's actually pretty good because I could tell you this much. Before I started working there, I'd never heard of it, right? And I actually started at Small Business Services 2 years ago, right? And the reason why, and you're thinking, why would she change jobs during the pandemic? And everyone asked, even when they interviewed me, they asked me that question, why are you changing jobs during the pandemic? Well, I remember being locked up in my apartment and looking out the window while I'm working on Zoom and everything, and looking out there thinking, how is New York City going to come back? I knew the rest of the world would come back in one way or another, but how is New York City going to come back? New York City that faced things like Superstorm Sandy or even Ida last year. How is New York City going to recover? And I kept thinking, what makes us special? It's not only our small businesses, but the communities that you exist in. And we were talking about the AAPI and what is being Asian and acknowledging the Southeast Asian communities. That's the most important thing. It's so important for us to acknowledge what makes New York special. It's in this room. It's you that makes New York special. It's every small business owner out there, whether it's a bodega or it's a laundromat or it's a fruit stand or whatever it is. This is what makes New York special, right? And that's why I joined Small Business Services. That's why I wanted to make a difference. I wanted to help small businesses come back because, quite honestly, this is what is New York. It's not the buildings, it's the people. It's always going to be the special flavor of New York that all of us come together and bring and make. So I am so happy to be here. As I said, please invite me back. I love coming out. I got lost, I'll admit that. I promise never do that again. But it's important for us to make sure you know what Small Business Services is, because we're here to help you. And we really are. So I'm going to cut my remarks short. They gave me something I'm supposed to read, but I'm not going to read it. So, and really trying to get into, first of all, I'd like to give you a little overview of some of the things that we do, and then be able to answer your questions, okay? So the Department of Small Business Services, we're here to help you, right? You as a small business owner, whether you're actually want to start a business, or you're helping to navigate a situation, or you're actually thinking about expanding, we're here to help you at every stage. We do have access to financing. We will help you figure out what makes sense for you. I can't tell you how many business owners come to us and say, I need a $250,000 loan. Not really, not really. And what we do is we match you with an account manager that will then give you a business consultation, really talk to you about what's important. And then maybe sometimes what's important is education. So not only will we give you that consultation, but we have free business courses, whether it's in using QuickBooks or Excel, or even just learning the basics of marketing or becoming an LLP or things like that. We have other parts of our organization like We NYC for our women entrepreneurs, where they can get together and not only take advantage of education courses, but mentoring and networking together, right? We have wonderful things like our energy cost savings program. So if you qualify, you live in one of the flood zone areas, maybe you qualify for energy cost savings. Maybe you're interested in learning more about our emergency services, like a fire or a flood in your apartment. We also have, not apartment, your building. We also have our commercial lease assistance program. So if you're renegotiating your lease or you're having problems with your landlord, come to us. We'll give you a pro bono lawyer to help you negotiate with the landlord. Okay? This is just a couple of things that we do to help you, right? One of the greatest services we have is what we call our NYC Best program and a Business Express Services team. And that group is one-stop shopping. So if you have, you're renovating your kitchen, right? And you need to get plans pushed through Department of Buildings. You need a range hood inspection from fire department. Our small business advocate will work with you to help navigate. They're your concierge service to help you navigate government. So I really strongly encourage you, come to SBS. We have a lot of services that can help anyone. We're really easy. We're SBS for NYC, right? But Hetty's back there and he's got a lot of materials that I also have my business cards. Please feel free to reach out to me too if you have any questions. But for today, I'm here to answer your questions. So please let me know. Did anyone have a question?
Yeah, thank you so much for describing everything in more and support services SBS has it. As she said, Mehdi has the literature available at the back on the very back last table. We have literatures available in English and Urdu as well about all the programs she spoke about. Most of the programs information is there. So you can grab, you can go and talk to him as well individually. But right now, from the floor, you can ask questions or give your comments. Feel
Should do it. We run the Workforce One centers throughout New York City. So if you're looking to hire or you need help with specialized training, please come to us. We're working with people who need jobs and we're helping to get them connected with small businesses. So if you're looking to hire or anything like that, please come talk to us about the Workforce One Center. The other thing is register as MWB, a minority or women-owned business enterprise, right? And you're saying to yourself, why do I want to do that? Well, not only is it really smart for you, but this gives you the opportunity to do business with the government, right? And we would actually, so once someone becomes a certified MWB, you go into our directory, and you're thinking, well, no, I run a little shop that makes cupcakes, and I'll never get a government contract. But believe it or not, a couple of months ago, someone from City Hall said, we need a vegan baker to buy some cupcakes from. And I said, okay, so we looked in the directory to find a vegan baker who's an MWBE. So you would be really surprised what the city of New York buys. So I strongly encourage you to find out more about MWB certification. It's free and it's really smart because I think last year, how many billions of dollars was it in purchasing that the city
30 billion.
30 billion that the city of New York did with certified MWBEs. And you could be part of that. And trust me, they buy everything. They buy like toilet paper, diapers, everything. You'd be surprised. Reach out to you and they could walk you through the certification process. Okay.
I have funny thing is I had a question yesterday. Somebody asked me, do you know what? I said, you have the commissioner coming today. I'm going to definitely ask.
So for MWB, just to add one more thing, it's not necessary that you're only directly connecting or getting a city contracts, like organizations like APNA and many other. Those who are working with the city for different contracts, we are also bound by our contracts for a certain amount of programming. We have to give contracts to MWBE. So let's suppose we are doing this event, and if there's a bigger event, we are bound to have an order placed to MWBE. If we have MWBE registered from our community, we can give that order to our community organizations rather than going and finding somebody else out of district or out of borough.
The Small Business Week is the first week in May, right? This year we actually made it a month, which was crazy. But last year with our partners. So we went, we were in the Bronx, and we were all 5 boroughs. Anyhow, every partner that worked with us to co-host the event, we said to them, you got to buy from an MWBE. And all of that was MWBE. So it's so important. So please take advantage of that. Okay.
General question out of curiosity. I know on June 1st there was a whole issue like, hey, the United States might enter default and all that. So that could result in like inflation in prices or here and there. What policy does SBS have that covers like issues that may arise if we were to go into default for small businesses?
Well, we're not actually going to head in that direction. I'm sure you're aware that this is actually a bigger problem that's happening. It's not just the U.S. in terms of the economy, but yes, the debt ceiling was a political issue that should never have been. And I think a lot of people were worried, and I know now we're safe for another 2 years. So what we've tried to do is actually just be more proactive, reaching out in the community, letting you know that we're here. We're trying to figure out better ways to get our services out into the community. So I don't know if you're aware, the city is building a portal called My City Portal. And the idea about My City is that you'll be able to do everything online very soon. And so not only as a private citizen, but also as a business. So the first services was child services that they actually put on this portal. And the next set of services will be for small businesses. So we're set to launch, I'm keeping my fingers crossed, really soon, by the end of this year. And then After that, within phases, the next 3 years, we're adding on more services for small businesses to you, right? And that you know where they are. That's number one. Number two is that we have programs to help you. So, for example, our small business, our NYC Best program, our compliance advisors, they'll actually go into a business, and these are actually, I have former FDNY, I have Department of Buildings, Department of Health inspectors, former inspectors on my team. And what they'll do is they'll go into your business and they'll actually do the full checklist of every inspection you'll face, and they'll talk to you about, no, have the table over 2 inches, move this over here, your refrigeration needs to be 2 degrees lower. And they walk you through that, they help educate you, and these are all free services. We went to over 2,500 businesses since July 1st of last year, right? We always measure everything in fiscal years, but we've been to about 2,500 businesses. We've saved other businesses $22 million in possible fines because we educated them.
I have to post my job in your SBS, the website. Posted the job.
Actually, you would work with our recruitment center, and I'm sorry I don't speak to this well because I actually don't work in workforce. I'm in business services, and you'd think I would know, but I don't. So, but our workforce center works with you. You're a registered minority and women-owned business certification, so MWBE certification. With that, we also have classes that will help you actually learn how to get a government contract. So there's a lot of different possibilities through that certification. Our other programs, again, are free. We have free business education, free mentoring, free business consultations. So you let me know what it is you need.
Yeah,
Okay.
I believe English.
Okay, so just to let you know, what we do is we use Language Line, and I know that's not the absolute best service out there, but that's to help you get started. And what we do is we try to tap into our staff that can speak multiple languages. Hotline, we can manage to have 4 staff members on there. I would love to have 10, one for every language. Unfortunately, we're not at that stage yet because the hotline is still fairly new. We started the hotline actually during the pandemic, so that when people had questions as to what was going on or they needed information about getting grant relief, we started the hotline, but it's still very young compared to a lot of our other programs.
I mentioned it already, but does SBS have like specific programs or workshops related to like people who are like aspiring entrepreneurs, or like a mentor-mentee type of thing?
Yes, actually it was funny, I was talking about our mentorship programs right before I left today. So we have several mentor programs. In particular, like I said, we have our Women NYC, our We NYC. So we would connect you not only with them to get basic business educations if you'd like, but also the opportunity to get a mentor.
Especially in like if this community has trouble finding people to network with, whether it's like a language barrier or anything like that. Do you have any suggestions of how small businesses, especially people who are living around this area in particular, would be able to reach out and network with other businesses, whether or not it's to communicate or to further expand their growth?
Just coming back now because before everything was online. Everything was like, I could do this, like, oh, I know you, and because we were in a little Zoom box. Coming from the pandemic, but I'd have to say that this coming year you're going to see a lot more of online events, right? In-person events, I'm sorry. So we actually have not only our services, but if you go to our Eventbrite page, right, we actually do have in-person events. Last year we did 5 boroughs in 5 days. I'm very proud of that because that nearly killed me. But this year what we did was we did as many different events as possible in person. But what we wanted to do was, instead of focusing in on a borough, we wanted to focus in on the services that we provide. So what we did was we put together an Accessing Capital Fair, right? And so not only did we invite business owners to come in, but they met with us and our services, but we invited all of our, does everyone know what a CDFI is? CDFI, a community development financial institution. So it could be, I'm trying to think what it is in this neighborhood. Maybe Renaissance or Greater Jamaica. No, Greater Jamaica. I don't know if they're
Greater Jamaica is not.
Brooklyn Network. on really developing particular communities, right? So they may offer the lower interest rate, or they may have some specials, or even give you information to access different programs. And so SBS works with 15 different CDFIs, right? He does, and so I'm not sure if you're aware that the city makes a point of making sure that I think 25% of our media placements go to ethnic media.
Yes.
And so I know we do, I couldn't tell you off the top of my head what, but I do know that every time we've launched a program, we've made sure that we've actually had placements in all the papers.
Sure.
Or social media.
So,
I'm not good with social
so
media.
just it could be a loan or a fund.
Or for anytime we've had a product, we've actually put on a couple of products. We sponsored the Opportunity Fund a couple of months ago,
Okay.
at a low interest rate of 4%, which is really incredible now. That went so quickly, but yes, we did advertise that in ethnic media.
Okay. All right. We'll reach you out soon.
Co-founder with APNA, established, and she has a lot of groundwork that she had laid before. She's very well connected with the community. I'm pretty sure that our next program is going to be very well attended, because now we have a little flavor of what you can offer, and I think the word will get around. So I think initially what will happen is the timing was such that it's between jobs and everything else. But a lot of people have come across and asked questions, and I think you will be a regular for us from now on.
Well, thank you. And one of the other things I'd like to invite you to do is we do these things called corridor tours, right? And like I said, so many people don't know who we are, right? And the best way that you could be our partner is to introduce us to the community. So my group, the NYC Best team, right? And what we do is we'll work with a partner to identify a corridor, right? And we'll go in and we'll teach them about some of the services we have, but especially our consultations that will actually help businesses.
We will actually be willing to sponsor those as a location where we can, have workshops. Because I think that would be, that would be wonderful.
Great thing. As you see, there's so many young women from the community.
Yep.
Those because of the family and other responsibility, they were not able to come out, but now they have some skill set. Like some is very good in terms of stitching, embroidery, hand.
Excel and all of those things. Those are skill sets which you require for your job. So I think if people get more qualified, getting those trainings, they'll become more eligible for the job.
Yes, and just let you know, it's not just us. We will help connect you with other agencies. So you have a nonprofit. So did you know there's a mayor's office for nonprofits?
Right.
So a lot of people don't, because they just formed this year, right? And so if you had a question that we couldn't answer, we would connect you with them to be able to help you. Okay?
Right on spot. She just entered.
I'll let you know.
Do is connect you to one of our account managers at our business solution centers, because we don't want you just to make a decision to buy another store, or I want to move from online to brick and mortar. How do I do that? And that's what they do. What we do is we help you to shape your question, and then we give you to the Harvard Business School, because then they'll be able to do it. They have 10,000 volunteers in New York City that are graduates of the Harvard Business School. They connect and work with you to coach you through that specific situation. But like I said, we have all these really wonderful services that are free, okay?
Agency which provide a lot of services and support to small business. Or have you ever heard about this kind of a service or agency? So that's your win. Like we are into the direction of reaching the marginalized communities.
Okay, so now you know what actually is a win? A win is I'm gonna give you all my email address, right? I have my business cards. The win is how many of you I hear from afterwards, right? And that's what's important to me, that we're here for you. Email me directly. You're more than happy to call me. The other day my phone rang in my office. I was like, what's that?
Sharing all the beautiful information, a very great things to our community members. We appreciate it, and we're gonna continue our partnership with SBS. Your team is amazing. Mehdi, Tanya, I've been working with them for
Oh, wonderful.
from few months now.
Yeah.
For a lot of community outreach material and everything, making sure the Urdu speaking community knows and everything is translated perfectly, accurately. So that's why this is the part of one of our program, which is interlinked with that support services and translation services. So again, thank you. We will continue our partnership. Thank you, Mehdi. Everyone else, thank you for joining. Before we leave, we have a lot of food available for everybody, and I want to acknowledge Barbara is here from Senator Jessica's office. Their office is great always. Whenever we send them invite, she is here or somebody else is here. So thank you, Barbara, for joining. Thank you, everyone else, for joining. And don't forget to grab all the literature. We have it. You
More thing to say.
Sure.
So about the languages and everything, someone once asked me, but I used to work campaign finance board before here. Someone once asked me about the Asian voice in voting, right? And I just said, there's so many voices in the Asian community, and that's what needs to be acknowledged. Your voice is beautiful. I strongly encourage you, not only reach out to your city agencies, your elected officials, but please, APNA, we're so happy to be here to partner with you. Thank you so much for having me here today, and thank you for letting me hear your beautiful voice.
It's a great pleasure to have you, and I think this is a great opportunity for future moving along. The city is able to offer so much, and we certainly hope to have you back soon.
Thank you. Now that I know how to get here, I'm more than happy to come back.
We have a girl from Staten Island, so right here.
Yay!
I'm from Brooklyn.
She's from Brooklyn.
Go to Staten Island, right?
I work in Staten Island.
Yeah, she worked.
Yeah, that was a hard.
अपना कम्युनिटी सेंटर की डायरेक्टर मोहतरमा शाजिया वट्टो ने भी डिप्टी कमिश्नर केटी चैन से स्मॉल बिजनेस के मसाइल पे बातचीत की।
Question. Actually, I just want to say I know many people, they have a small businesses and they always get the information good way. But when actually they like applying for that program, they always they want, especially they take so long. They want them to provide more information, and they made so difficult. And sometimes even you cannot get to that point to get something.
I totally understand. That's one of the reasons why.
Because if you, even I know so many people, and now they don't trust in small businesses, because when you are giving them your all information and in the end you're not getting that result, then you don't trust. Even some people, they want to apply for this small program, and other people, they say negative things about small businesses. So I just want you to make this process easy, so many people, they can apply and they can give positive.
So listen, I guarantee you, we know and we hear you. So, how many people have been on the SBS website, right? And did you ever need to look at a different language? Yeah, okay, it uses Google Translate, right? Which is not always the best. Okay, so one of the things that we're doing for the My City portal, which is going to be really different, is the way we're actually translating. So we're contracting with a company that will actually, once we make a change, so what you do is, as a small business owner, you're going to register on there, you'll get an account, you can access all the services and everything that we have. But one of the things we're doing is, and I think there are usually hundreds, if not thousands of pages on a website.
I did not see even one person who get the small business loan, so.
You mean the Opportunity Fund?
Yeah.
The Opportunity Fund was a crazy situation that no one could have anticipated, because it just was overwhelmed. We got tens of thousands of applications, like that, right? And it was unexpected. But we needed to be fair to everyone, and so it's a slow process. We're still processing the people that are in that pipeline, because we promised that it was first come, first serve.
Yeah.
Right?
Because if they trust us, it's
Yeah.
not gonna go to you, it's gonna come to me.
No.
They're gonna ask me this question, oh, you recommend me or suggest me this program, and it's so difficult, this and that. So that way, if you can work with us, and it's really working, of course, we're gonna tell everyone to apply for these small businesses.
Yeah.
Actually, is it necessary in our community,
Yeah.
especially for women?
I completely agree with you 100%. I'll tell you this, we couldn't have anticipated it. And as you're aware, we went out into the community with a lot of great groups. We also posted it in social media. We did everything we could because we honestly didn't believe we were gonna get that many applications. It's not a matter of us hiring staff to do it because we actually have an organization that works on it for us, but it was a matter of how much money was available, right? So, and what we're doing is we're trying to turn them over as quickly as possible so that we could actually try and be able to expand as many loans as possible.
Thank you for coming.